go over? Or do you feel like, for the most part, it was pretty easy? Yes, Ron? Number 9, so 7 cubed, okay? So you can write this a couple different ways. You can write 7 cubed, you can write 7 to the 3rd power. It's really just kind of whatever you prefer, but it should just be 7 cubed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't know if you were supposed to write it like that.
Are you supposed to what?
Write it like that.
Yep, yeah, because that part is writing from numbers to words, okay? All right, which other ones do you want to go over? Who did number 13? All right, Leo, you want to tell me what you wrote for number 13?
Sure. I wrote 4 cubed times d minus 10.
Okay, close. Make sure, because the cubed goes with D. Okay, so Noah, help them out just a little bit.
4 times cubed minus 10?
Yeah, so do you see the difference? So you just put cubed in the wrong places. Okay, so that would be 4 times D cubed minus 10. Okay? I was not ready for him to be super fast. All right, any other ones you guys want to go over?
He tried to vacuum the door.
Maybe he's just cleaning it off.
It's a leaf blower.
So is he blowing all the bugs away from my door so we won't get attacked?
Probably. I don't know. It's a leaf blower.
I love this song. That's a lawnmower. That is not a lawnmower.
All right. I think we're good now.
It's back! Hurry up!
Yeah.
You are ruining your education, sir. Oh. Sir, you don't want to do that for a while. Sometimes.
All right. We still have a lesson we have to do. Hopefully it doesn't last super long. I can just talk about it. All right, let's do number 7. Because number 7 was a little bit different than the other ones that we did yesterday. Well, really 5 and 7 are a little bit different. So it says 4 times the number of cows plus 2 times the number of ducks. So how is that different from the other ones? Aiden?
It doesn't have a variable, it just says like cows and ducks.
Okay, so Aiden, would you mind telling me what you wrote for that? It's okay, that's wrong. That's why we're going over it.
4 times C plus 2 times D.
Perfect. So that should be 4 times C plus 2 times D. Or you could have wrote it 4C plus 2D. Okay, so either way. All right, any others you want to go over? So how did we feel about the lesson yesterday? Feel okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then let's go ahead and we'll move into the lesson for today. Yay. All right, so we are going to do an algebra talk when x is 6. So this is telling you that if x is 6, what is the 4 expressions below? So stand up when you have these 4 answers. Alright, so for the first one, what does this become? Raise your hand and tell me. Christiana? What does it become? How did you solve? 6 plus what?
6 plus 4.
Okay. So you subbed in the 6 for the x, and then you did 6 plus 4, which gave you 10. Alright, the next one. So tell me how you solved it, and then tell me your answer. Hampton?
I did 7 minus 6,
Okay.
not 1.
Okay. The next one, Aiden.
I did 6 times 6.
Alright, and then the last one. How do we solve the last one? Mikhail. Because you end up with 6/3, which gives you 2. Alright, questions about that. So what did you do that that helped you solve each one of these problems? What did you have to do? I didn't ask that right. Since there was a variable and it was unknown, obviously we can solve those until we had a value, correct? So what did you have to do with the value that was given to you for x?
You had to sub it out first.
Right, so you had to take the x out, put the 6 in, and then do the operations that way. Alright. 6.2, it says, Lynn set up a lemonade stand. She sells the lemonade for 50 cents per cup. Complete the table to show how much money she would collect if she sold each number of cups. Alright, so lemonade sold, so 12 cups. What would be the amount of money that she would make? What would be the amount of money? How would we go about solving this? Let's talk about that, because some of us seem a little unsure. How do we go about solving this problem?
50 cents is $half $1.
Okay, so how do we go about solving this problem?
12 divided by 2.
I don't want you to change what the number is. Like, I don't want you to change 50 cents. Like, I want you to keep it 50 cents. Because there's a reason. Just go with me for it, okay?
50 cents times 12.
So for the first one, you're gonna do 12 times 50 cents, and what does that give you? So she made $6. Okay, the next one, can we do the same thing? Can we multiply 183 times 50 cents?
Yes.
Okay, so do 183 times 50 cents. Raise your hand when, actually stand up when you have your answer. All right, Kylie, what'd you get?
9,000 if you didn't put in the decimal, so it's $91.50.
Okay. All right, how many of you guys got $91.50? So that should be the correct answer. So your expression that you can use for this type of question, what did we multiply both of these problems by? No? 50 cents. All right, so we did 50 cents times what? No? which if we wanted to use a variable, what would you use? C. Alright, so that is the expression that you are using to solve for these two problems. Alright, B says, how many cups did she sell if she collected $127.50? You're prepared to explain your reasoning. So now we know how much money she made, we have to figure out how many cups she sold. So, can we use the same thing? Why not, Aiden?
Find out how much she sold, how much cups she sold.
Right. We already know how much she made. This is the expression to find out how much money she sold. Or how much money she made. Good Lord. Alright.
We're gonna have to do the opposite and divide it by 50 cents to figure out how many cups or something.
You can, or you can use your brain a little bit, right? And say, okay, well, 50 cents is what? Like, if for here, we essentially, like Kaylee said, we're essentially dividing by 2, right? So if we divided by 2 technically to find these two, what would we do with 127.50? No, because this is to find the amount of money. We already know the amount of money. We need to find the amount of cups. So what are we going to do?
Multiply by 2. Multiply by 2.
Yes, you're going to multiply this by 2. All right, so give me a thumbs up when you have your answer.
Can you also divide it?
Divided by what?
50?
Not 50. Anytime you can eliminate a decimal or a fraction and just keep it simple, that's what I do. Just thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up, that's all. All right, Zoe, what did you get, sweetie?
255.
So is it $255 or is it 255 cups? All right. Slide over to the next chart. It says Elena is 59 inches tall. Some other people are taller than Elena. Complete the table to show the height of each person. All right. So the top row is how much taller than Elena. So we have 4, 6.5, and an unknown number. And then the person's height. So what are we gonna do to solve this chart? What are we gonna do? What do you think, Ronnie?
We use Elena's height, and we add the other height to it.
Okay, so for Andre, we would do 59 plus 4, right? And what would that give us? 63. All right, and then for Lynn, we're gonna do 59 plus 6.5. What is that gonna give us? What is that gonna give us, Christiana?
65 and a half.
All right, so what did we do, expression-wise, to get both of these answers? Emma?
We added whatever number was in the how many taller inches to 59.
Okay, so give me the expression. What would the expression look like?
59 plus D.
Yes. All right, so if Noah is 64 3/4 inches tall, how much taller is he than Elena? So we already have the number of inches tall. What do we have to do here? Camden?
Subtract.
Mm-hmm. Because again, we're doing the opposite of what our expression is. So here, we're gonna do 64 3/4 minus 59. So this time, stand up when you have your answer. Alright, William, what was your answer?
5 3/4. Or 5.75.
Okay. Alright, so that's kind of what you're doing. You're substituting in for that unknown number or your variable. So for 6.3, for 1A and B, you guys are going to do this technically on your own, but put your pencils down. Alright, so it says Claire is 5 years older than her cousin. What is our expression going to look like? If we're looking at just 5 years older than her cousin, what's our expression going to look like? Mikhail. Huh? Why? No, I didn't hear your letter. Y? Yes. So the expression that you're going to use is y plus 5. Alright, so answer 1A and B and stand up when you're done. Alright, let's go ahead and go over these. So, Wyatt, what did you get for A, 10 years old? What'd you do? What'd you add? And you got? Okay, so that's the answer for the first one. Alright, the next one is 2 years old. Troy.
10 plus 2 equals 12.
Where did you get the 10 from?
Oh, wait. Sorry. 5 plus 2 equals 7.
Okay. Alright, and then the last one, obviously, we kind of already talked about this, but what would the answer be for X years old? Eileen?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. So the process that you did was X plus 5, or Y plus 5, depending on whatever variable you choose. Alright, B says Claire is 12 years old. How old is Claire's cousin? So technically, we already know our answer, right? It already tells us. So can I still use the same equation, X plus 5? I mean, can I set it up as X plus 5 equals 12? And then technically, how am I going to, what operation am I going to use to solve this problem? Right, so I'm technically going to subtract and get 7, so X equals 7. And then can I plug it back in and check my answer? So now that I have a value for X, I can say, well, 7 plus 5 equals 12, and that is true. Okay? Questions about that? Still pretty easy, you feel like? All right, William, will you go join Zoe R, please? All right, on the back side, you have 2AB, 3AB, and 4AB. You are working as a group today, the group that you're sitting with, you're working together to solve two AB 3, AB 4, AB. Just like the front one that we just did. So if you need to refer back to something, this is what you're doing for each one of these questions. Does that make sense? Okay, obviously you might be using a different expression, so you might not be adding, you might be multiplying or dividing or whatever. But you're doing 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna give you, let's start with 6 minutes. Let's do 6 minutes. And then we will go over this. All right, go ahead. Make sure you guys are all working together. You guys need a few more minutes, or? Okay. Keep working.
A is 6 times 18, and then 6 times N, and then B
Alright, let's go ahead and go over this, even if you're not done, that's okay. Alright, so it says, pencils down. So it says Diego has 3 times as many comic books as Han. Alright, so what are the keywords / numbers that you're going to be using? Troy.
We're going to be using 3 and whatever variable.
Right, but what operation are you going to be doing?
We're going to be doing multiplication.
Because of the word
Times.
yes. Alright, what variable did your group pick?
We picked N because
Okay, so they picked n. If you picked a different variable, that is fine. How many of you guys did 3 times the variable? Like it was 3 times whatever letter you picked. Hello, I'm over here, not out there. Listen to my question. How many of you guys did 3 times whatever variable? If you did not do 3 times whatever variable, please raise your hand and tell me what you did. So Zoe's group, what did y'all do?
We did 1 times 3.
Huh?
We did n times
8 times 3?
3. In.
Okay, so that's the same thing. What did y'all do?
3 times
So why did you not raise your hand? Guys, it's imperative that I know that we're understanding. I'm not asking for answers. I'm just simply asking, if you did that 3 times n times 3, just raise your hand. All right, so for the first one, we're going to do 3 times what? 3 times what, Camden?
6.
Which gives me?
18.
So Diego had 18 comic books. Okay, and then obviously this one is our answer, our variable. You can write it as 3n, you can write it as 3 times n, you can write it as n times 3, whichever one you decided to do. All right, so B says Diego has 27 comic books. How many comic books does Han have? So essentially, if you're using this process, this is the way you should set it up, right? And then what operation technically are we going to do to figure out what our n equals? Delilah. Mm-hmm. So you're going to do 27 divided by 3, which gives you 9. So n equals 9 there. How did you do on B? Guys, everyone get it? Okay. All right, looking at number 3, it says 2/5 of the vegetables in Priya's garden are tomatoes. How many tomatoes are there in Priya's garden? All right, so what is the equation that you guys are using? Troy,
Adding.
are you sure? That's what you guys used? You added? Did anybody else do something different? What did you guys do, Ronnie? Yes, you're multiplying here. And that's okay. So the equation is 2/5 x, or 2/5 times t, or whatever if you picked a variable. So it's either 2/5 x or 2/5 times a variable. How many of you guys picked one of these two? Okay, if you did not, you need to make sure that you erase it and get the right information down. Alright, so for this one, you're going to do 2/5 times 20 over 1, which gives you what? 40 over 5, which gives you 8. Okay? Alright. And then obviously your equation would be 2/5 x or 2/5 times t or t times 2/5, whichever variable you wanted to use. Alright, Priya's garden has 6 tomatoes. How many total vegetables are there? Alright, so what do we do for this one? Bonnie?
I got 15 total vegetables.
So 15 total. Alright, so essentially we did 2/5 x equals 6, right? So how do we go about figuring out 15? Like, what'd you guys do?
I divided the 6 by 2 because it says 2/5, and I got 3, and then I just times that by 5,
Right.
and then I got 15.
Yep. Alright. That one was a little bit difficult, but not because of the process, because of what? What made that one hard? Because there's a fraction. Okay? Last one, number 4. Says a school paid $32.50 for each calculator. If the school bought X calculators, how much did they pay? Alright, so we know that we're gonna be using $31.25 for each calculator. What operation are we doing based off of a keyword in there? Mikhail? Because of what word? Each. Alright, so for 4A, what does your expression look like? What does your expression look like? Emma?
31 and 25 times X.
Okay? So the school spent $500 on calculators. How many did the school buy? Alright, so if we have $31.25 X equals 500, what do we have to do here to solve this problem? Haley? We have to divide it. So we have to do 500 divided by 31.25. And what did you get when you did 500 divided by 31.25?
16.
You got 16 calculators. Alright, how many of you guys got that one right? Alright, if you did not get this right, please make sure you get this copied down. When you have it copied down, please go ahead and get your notes page glued into your notebook. And then slide over to the right side of your page and put lesson 6 pull down. When you get your pull down, please put your first name, last name, date, period on it, and get started on it. When you're done, please turn it into the bin. And then if you owe me Imagine Math, you need to work on that. If you owe Lexia, you need to work on that. Obviously, we're not going outside today, but if you have earned Fun Friday, I will let you move around the room and sit with friends or play cool math or something like that. If you are done with Lexia and Imagine Math, pick one of the two to work on until that Fun Friday time.